I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
No, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. It feels good to Geico.
Trojan family, what's going on? Welcome back to the USC LAFB show here on the LAFB network. I'm your host, Ryan Dyrud. 3 of the top receivers in the 2027 class have now scheduled their official visits with USC. To me, these are the 3 to look for. Obviously, USC has 2 already committed in Eli Woodard and Quentin Hale. I've said all along, I believe 3 is going to be their target mark for number of receivers. I think these 3 young men are the 3 to look at. Not saying someone else won't, rise up. Not saying they won't go after someone else, if things kind of fall through. But I think these are the 3 as of right now that are the clear kind of front runners that USC is targeting, and all 3 of these guys have USC high on their list as well. So let's get into it. Eric McFarland, I talked a bunch about last week on his as he scheduled his official visit, so I'm lumping him into this 3, but I'm not going to talk much about him because I already did a whole video set on that. But he is scheduled to have his official visit June 5th. With USC. Remember, he is IMG Academy, originally from the Vegas area. He's the 4th ranked wide receiver in the class. In Rivals' new updated rankings, he actually bumped up to the 19th overall player nationally in Rivals' industry rankings. So he is a 5-star receiver prospect. I think he was a 4-star before their update, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know 100%, but he's a 5-star industry ranking as of right now this day. And as I've said all along, he is my top, priority. He'd be my top go-get to add to Eli Woodard and Quentin Hale. Now, the question is there enough, difference between him and Woodard? I think Woodard has that inside-outside versatility, but probably is more of like a slot guy, where I think Eric McFarland is certainly a slot guy. Quentin Hale also versatility, but can be more of the outside guy in this class. That'd be the only question. Is there too much repetition with those 2 guys? But I love Eric McFarland. I think he'd be fantastic. So he will be on his official visit on June 5th. His teammate just locked in his official visit for USC, Osani Gales, IMG Academy, originally from Tracy, California. That is a draw. Remember, we talked about, locking down California. There's a lot of kids that kind of move around and go to different high schools nowadays, than way more than in the past. And that's the same for California. Like, there's kids that come out here, whether it's Mater Dei, St. John Bosco, that move here. I mean, Chris Henry Jr. is an Ohio kid, right? Came to Mater Dei for 2 seasons, ends up going to Ohio State. Like, that wasn't really like a Cal kid. You could even look at Marcus Fakatow. I think he's originally from Alaska, I believe. And now he's been at Olu, but, is that really a Cali kid? Whereas someone like a Talanoa Ely, someone like a Kenai Pepe, they played their final seasons elsewhere. Well, Pepe was at IMG longer, but those are Cali kids. So Osani Gale is kind of that same ilk, originally from Tracy, California, now playing his high school ball at IMG. I've mentioned his name a bunch, but haven't really dove into him a ton. So 5'11", 185, so good size for, a good versatile receiver. He is the 10th ranked receiver overall in Rivals industry ranking, 4-star, the 61st ranked overall player in Rivals industry rankings. And he locked his official visit in the same day as his teammate Eric McFarland. So both McFarland, both Gales will be at USC on June 5th. The interesting thing with doing that, with scheduling them both the same day, I don't think USC is going to take 4 receivers. I said max maybe 4, but to me it's 3. Maybe they would go 4 if both are interested. But to me, it could kind of pit one against the other in a way like, hey, we got one spot. Who wants it more? And so that kind of creates a little bit of a recruiting competition, if you will, of like, hey, if they knock that official visit out of the park, they got to be like, hey, I want that spot. Like, yeah, he's my high school teammate, but I want to play for USC, and I can't just sit around and wait. especially if they schedule official visits later down the line. One of them is going to have to be like, well, I'm going to jump at that spot and cool, I'll cancel the rest of my visits, because if I wait and the other guy takes it, well, then I'm out of luck and I can't go to USC. So it's an interesting kind of strategy there, having them both at the same spot. We'll see if they end up wanting to take both. But like I said, I think 3 is the number there. So Asani Gale's also June 5th. And he right now, per multiple reports, I think has USC at the top as of now. He's also locked in official visits with Tennessee and Alabama. But he said, and this was, I believe this was to the Herald or USA Today maybe, this quote, says, they're definitely up there in regards to USC. I love receivers coach Chad Savage. I love head coach Lincoln Riley. I've been up there a few times now, and obviously the education aspect is important to my family. It's definitely one of the top schools. So certainly I think is a factor there for that final spot. And if he has it his way, like he might be the one that seizes that, being, from the West Coast, Cali kid originally, obviously NorCal, being up from Tracy. But USC is California, right? Like, say whatever you want. That is the California school, South or North. So things sitting good for Asani Gale as the 10th ranked receiver in the class, and would be a fantastic get to add to the 2 already there. And finally, Damani Warren out of Las Vegas, Arborview, Las Vegas. He set his official visit for the weekend before these 2 guys. So for May 29th through 31st, so that weekend prior to the June 5th weekend. So again, interesting strategy. Smart on him maybe, because if there is only one spot and the weekend goes and USC says, yeah, we'll take any one of you guys, and so Damani Warren decides to commit, there may not be any more room for receivers come that next weekend. Now, I believe, I'm not saying they'll make Warren hold off by any means, but I think that they are high enough on the prospects of McFarland and Gale, unless those 2 guys by that time have cooled a little bit and it's getting into a bidding war, that I think they'd want to see those through at least and see if they can lock up one or both of those guys and kind of feel it out a little bit. But we'll see. The thing with Damani Warren is he is a true, when you look at his size, he is absolutely a nice complementary receiver to what's already in the class. When you look at Eli Woodard, a little smaller, twitchier, not like tiny, not as small as McFarland, but still definitely more of an inside guy. And then you look at Quentin Hale, that, good kind of baseline size, can play inside, play out. Damani Warren's like a beast, 6'4", 210. So we're talking like Jacoby Lane height with a little more bulk on him as right now, going to be a senior in high school. So he would certainly give you a different size profile than what either McFarland or Gales would give you. So right now, again, you could say, okay, you look at the rankings and freak out. Right now, he's a 4-star industry ranking. He's the 34th ranked overall receiver and 268th ranked player nationally. So substantially lower ranked than Gale or McFarland, who are both top 10 receivers. But if they like that difference in size enough, maybe they do lean that way. And he does have the first official visit at the end of May out of these 3 receivers. So things are certainly going to heat up. Like I said, these are the 3 I'm looking at. Not saying there's not any others out there, not saying they haven't made other offers. We've talked about other receivers as well. But to me, and things can change. Like, we'll see how spring ball goes. But to me, it's the one of these 3 or none, and they'll be happy with the 2 they have, and maybe add another defensive lineman potentially or something like that. That, we'll see how it plays out. But I could see if one of these 3, if it becomes a bidding war, or if these 3 guys kind of are leaning other ways, where USC says, you know what, I think we're good with Woodard and Hale as our receiver class. We can use that roster spot now for maybe another defensive back at a 3rd corner instead of just 2. So I think it's kind of these 3 are bust, but we got a long way to go. You got all spring practices. The guys are going to come visit on unofficials, during the spring. So that can certainly change. That's just how I feel right now, February 26th, when it comes to the receiving room and recruiting for 2027. So there's the latest on the pass catchers. I'm stoked, guys. Spring practice starts next week. I'll be on campus Tuesday, March 3rd. So only 4 days away till we'll be back on campus. Get to see some live reps, some live football. Get to see some guys in pads and helmets and just hear the crisp sounds of pads popping and cleats scuffling across the nice plush grass in the morning dew. It's going to be glorious. I cannot wait. Gotta love it. And then we get a long break after spring. Then we get the real, dull, dead period after spring. But hey, let's not get that far ahead. We got 15 practices to look forward to. So keep it right here. USC LAFB. Hit that like and subscribe button. We are so close to 8,000 subscribers. Last I checked, let me look at it, refresh it right now. We are at 7,980 subscribers, 20 away from 8K. You guys are amazing. If you watch this channel, if you enjoy the information and you haven't subscribed yet, it's free. It helps us out. It helps push our videos out further. If you hit the like button, that helps even more. If you want to help even more, you can become a member of the channel and you can actually help us out a little bit monetarily. That's a huge help for me, my family, the rest of the LAFB team. It means the world to me. So all of you guys that are members, guys and gals, I see you. I appreciate you more than you know. But even just a simple free subscription means the world to me as well. So let's get to 8K. Keep this thing going. But we'll have plenty more. Back tomorrow. More USC stuff. Just because it's the offseason doesn't mean we sleep here at USC LAFB. So appreciate your family. As always, fight on. Hey, Trojan family. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching the USC LAFB show. Before you go, let me tell you quickly about our friends over at Sleeper. Go right now, download the Sleeper app. It's the #1 sports app, not just for season-long fantasy, but they've got live pickers. They've got live stat updates. They've got a chat. You can chat with other users, plus the daily pick'em, which is a blast, or daily fantasy, whatever you want to call it. You go and pick 2 to 8 players across any sports. If you're talking USC, go choose J.D. Mayav in his next matchup. Pick more or less passing yards, more or less touchdowns. You stack those, and you can win real money. When you go to make your first deposit, make sure you use our promo code USC LAFB. You're going to get a match deposit up to $100. Put in $100, you get $100 free to play with from Sleeper. Put in $10, they'll match you that $10. So now you're sitting at $20 to play with. But also right now, for any new users, no deposit required. You get $20 free entry. You can stack both. You can get the $20 for free. Go make a deposit. Use USC LAFB. And now you've got a bunch of free money to play with right there on the Sleeper app. Check it out, Trojan family. And when you do, tell them the guys at the USC LAFB sent you.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.